Hello, friends. I'm Adolphina Shephard. Welcome to God's Way. This is my co-host, Thomas Knights Templar.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our show.
We have some wonderful topics to discuss with you tonight. The first thing we're going to do, which we've done every year, geez, I don't even know how long it's been, in honor of 9/11, where we've crossed over spirits. And this has come about because at one point, I had a spirit talking to me, asking for help. And it turned out she said she was stuck there. She died in trauma in 9/11.
A lot of them don't know they're dead.
Yeah, they don't know they're dead. Right, exactly, because it happened so quickly and so forth. And so, long story short, at that time, we started crossing over spirits. Now, I know it's been at least 4 years because it popped up on Facebook, a renewal, an old memory. But I think we've been doing it much longer than that.
Yes, I believe so. I believe at least from that time when they came and talked to you.
Yeah, and you know what? And at that time, I had noted it on the pop-up from Facebook that we crossed over 22 million spirits. Now, imagine how many free-floating spirits there must be, right?
And they're worried about them coming across the border. Look what we did.
I know. Well, in honor again, we're going to do that tonight because the people, the spirits and the souls, they get stuck here. If they die in trauma, or sometimes they don't.
They linger, and they can be misdirected by earthbound entities that are not for the common good.
And also they can stay to help their loved ones, if a husband wants to be there for his wife or whatever. But at some point they become aware that they need help crossing over because the portal opens and then it closes. There was a show about that. Remember Ghost Whisperers? And she would go and she'd get the spirits and she'd open the portal and they'd go home.
Let them go through. And that's basically what we're going to do tonight. We are going to cross over any remaining souls, those that are trapped here, those that do not know they're deceased, those who are afraid of judgment. There is no judgment. You pick and choose the life, and then you judge your own performance when you get back across the veil. That's how it works, okay? I've told you many, many times on this show, you are God. All right, God doesn't judge you. You are God. You judge you and what you have done. And what you have done to better life here, not only for you, your family, your friends, but for humanity. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't know that, and there's a lot of people who know that and have forgotten that.
You know, that's the truth. People don't realize. See, the light workers and people like us who came in to assist mankind in their evolution and to free them from slavery and so forth, we know we're here to be in service to God. We're God's eyes, hands, feet, bodies to do the work that needs to be done. And I have heard, when I was thinking about this earlier, 20 million are waiting for us to open this portal. Now, I already had communed with the Father and Archangel Michael to get the legions together to assist with this.
All right, we'll call in Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, Sandalphon, and Metadrin.
And their legions.
Okay, and their legions to surround all these souls that are trapped here on this plane and take them across the veil.
Make sure they get home safely.
And make sure they go home and they go exactly where they're supposed to go to their loved ones on the other side. There is no fear. They will pass over without any fear of any kind of judgment and things like that. All right, that's why a lot of them stay, because they're afraid to go to the light. They're afraid to go to God because they're afraid they're going to be judged.
True.
Remember, in this lifetime, to judge someone is to judge yourself. All right, because you will, in the final analysis, come down to that, but you will judge the actions that you did in this life.
Well, and before we open up those portals with the Godhead and the angels, I want to also talk about what else we're going to talk about. We also want to touch on some of the current events that are going on. And
what was that? We're going to touch about on the other things that we're going to touch about.
No, that we're going to talk about. Did I say that?
Wow.
Oh, well, if I said that, which
Brian,
I don't know.
this is the time to put in a commercial.
We're going to touch on some things elsewise that we're going to talk about. And so I also want to talk about current events a little bit and let you try to straighten out some things for you that people are confused about. And we're also going to talk about the current shifts that are going on. And we're hoping we can squeeze all of this in. So hang tight, and you want to start with the prayer? We'll get the portals open.
I was starting with that.
Well, yeah, but then we would have been,
Okay.
already involved.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Father, we come together, Adolphina and I, Brian in the booth, and all of our television viewers and their families. We come together to open up the porthole to send all these millions and millions of people that have been stuck here, whether they're afraid of judgment, whether they're just afraid to leave their families, they think that they're going to go to the other side and never come back and return. Truth of it is they go to the other side and become omnipresent, and it could be anywhere, anytime, as many places as need be. All right? That is the actual truth of it. You are omnipresence. You are God. We will now cross all these people, all right, all our brethren that have passed away from whatever, and from all these sicknesses and diseases that they're touting now as a pandemic.
Plandemic.
It's a plandemic, but we'll go on with that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to cross them all now. All right? We're going to cross them all now. I'd like everybody to just sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and release it. When you breathe in, you're breathing in God's energy. When you release it, release not only your own negativity, but release these souls to God and let them go. So let's do that a few times. Breathe in through your nose, hold the breath, release it, and set those souls free. You're free. Cross over into the light. Breathe in again. Release it through your mouth. Okay? And we're sending the souls across. You are all aiding in this. It is more powerful by your energy joining with ours, passing them. One more time. Let's breathe in. Deep through the nose. Hold it. And release it. Release everything that holds you back, everything that you feel that you need to get rid of, ill will feelings that don't serve you. Cut the cords to people that are toxic in your life. That doesn't mean you won't love them, just means that they will have no effect on you. Pass them. Let everybody go who's got to go to the other side in peace and in the light of Christ. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, 301, 103. And so it is.
And so it is. Now, in the past, when Tommy and I have done this, we've had spirits that showed up on camera behind us. I don't know what's going to show up tonight.
Bottle of Jack Daniels, that's a spirit.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, and it is a spirit. No, that's true. It is spirits. That's why they call it
Couldn't hurt.
Right?
After the show, we're not allowed.
So when Tommy and I had held hands like this before, combining our energy, a spirit had their hand right on top of ours, and it showed up on camera one year. I don't remember what year that was.
It was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was good, though, you know.
Yeah.
But, and we're going to touch
That's when the light
base.
came right out of the picture behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
And
good.
so we don't know what's going to show up, but we're going to touch base back and forth while the angels do their work and cross these spirits over. I did see the portal open. Did you see it open?
I felt the whoosh by us.
Yeah. So
It was very powerful because you guys joined in. All right? You don't know how powerful you are. Even if you have not started the path of ascension, okay, you just had a glimpse of what that's like.
yes.
Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you be who you're supposed to be? Really. Never mind everything that goes on in this horrible 3D world. It doesn't matter. It's not who you are. It's not who you are. Those are people under 100% total control. All right? They act like automatons. They can set them out anytime they want to do their minions. Okay? And that's what they do. No brains. All follow the leader. Follow the leader. That's what it is.
Like lemons.
Yeah, well, they'll you know what they're like Stepford wives is what they are.
Well, you know, and it's sad, but, you know, I mean, think about this. Truly, we are all divine children of God, but people that are still asleep don't realize this, and they don't realize their own divinity. And this is one of the things I wanted to touch on, okay, because I want you to understand this. Here is something here. If you have to carry a card in your pocket or pass on your phone proving you injected a drug into your body to gain access to grocery stores, medical care, or move about society, you're no longer in a free country and you're no longer sovereign over your own body. Okay, God gave us free will, okay, and we got to stand on that, okay?
Well, now that's what's happening here is that the media and the medical industry, not all of them, but the ones that speak for them, okay, are causing discrimination against those who are unvaccinated or do not want to take the vax. Now, what I say to you is what the abortion people say, my body, my choice. And that's damn right. If it's good enough for them and there's a law to protect them, that law has to have a rider on it that protects all of us from having something shoved down your throat that is not necessary. Okay? This line they try to give you, oh, it makes it less if you get it. No, it makes you get it. Because the people I know got vaccinated all got it after they got vaccinated. So that's a real crock, all right? But they're selling it. And when I see this guy who speaks for New York on TV, he looks like a nice guy. But boy, is he so brainwashed, okay, that he actually believes that pollutant that he wants to put in your children's body, your grandchildren's body, as being good? Where is the study? Where is the study? Why is there such a rush? There was no rush for a cure to the flu.
Or the common cold.
Or the common cold. They can't find it. You know, this medical profession doesn't cure anything, not even a hangnail. They give you something to mask the problem. When they start coming up with something that's a guaranteed cure, that's when you say, well, let me look into this.
Well, here's one.
There's nothing like that. Not a damn thing.
No, people don't realize truly what's in it, and it's experimental, and there are those who just refuse to participate in it. But here's something I want to read to you. The general misconception is that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. But the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And for any statute to be valid, it must be an agreement. Therefore, it is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid.
And remember, mandates are not laws. They do not have the right to come into your restaurant and tell you that you have to ask them for a card. This is not Nazi Germany.
But they're trying to make it
But
Nazi
they're trying
Germany.
to make it Nazi Germany. And that gerbil that's in the Oval Office, who doesn't know jack from minute to minute, he's being told what to say. You can't see it. I mean, you watch TV, you can't see that this man, in 50 years in the Senate, has done diddly squat, and he's a racist to boot. And they have it documented, all right? But the media gives him a pass. He walks on water with them. You guys better wake up. You're being sold a line of BS that you're never going to be able to get out of if it continues to go the way it is.
See, here's the thing I want the people to understand. Friends, I want to tell you this. You see, Tommy and I are clairvoyants. We see with the eyes of God because he shows us things, okay? We are seers. We are prophets. We are seeing and hearing. The reason that we are letting you know these things is because we are not... that the gut feel that God gives us is so much against this because it's genocide. But Jesus came through to me and he said, God will not allow genocide. Okay, this is why now everybody's rising up, because the people have had enough. We're not going to stand for things being shoved down our throats. And here's this. Tommy was talking about mandatory, not a law. Here's some more words that are not law, because people are confused. Required. That's not a law. Mandated. Not a law. Requested. Not a law. Ordered. Not a law. Ordinance. Not a law. Decree. Not a law. Compulsory. Not a law. Okay? Mandatory. Not a law. Let that sink in real good, okay?
All right? They're selling you a line of BS. And the problem is that you have people that the first time, as soon as they wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is turn on the news. Turn on the news. Why would you do that? Listen to that propaganda. I don't care what channel you listen to. It is all tainted and slanted. Comes from one news source.
That's right.
That's owned by them. What is wrong with you?
Well, they don't know that there used to be 1,500 news outlets. Now, 6 corporations bought them all up. They are all part of the same 1% with this propaganda pandemic and so forth. And so it's one voice, like Tommy said, okay?
Not only that, they have the CDC, okay? That is an organization that should be, and that in the World Health Organ should be dissolved. Why? For the falsities. They're paying hospitals extra money. No matter what you die from, you can die from bad breath, and they're going to put you down as COVID. And they've been doing this, and they get money for that. They get kickbacks for that.
$30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a person.
Are you kidding me? Do you not see the money in this? And why are we, the greatest nation on earth, having food shortages? What did they do in Russia to control the people? Have food shortages. You are seeing China and Russia put their will on the American public through our government that's in complicity with them, all right, to go towards a one world order. You
That's
guys
right.
better wake up, take your country back. I call on all the military veterans, no matter what age you are. We will not allow this. We will not allow this.
That's right. Now, you know what? Before we get too crazy, because, boy, we can really get fired up about this, let's check in and see how we're doing with the crossing over. I think there's been quite a bit. Let me see how many have crossed over. Oh, yeah, quite a bit. How much more to do? Well, we're actually doing quite well. Quickly. It's going very quickly. Going very quickly.
Well, it's because we had their help.
Of course. Yeah, you folks are helping a lot, because the last time we did this, it took me and Tom 3 days.
To
we
recuperate.
were exhausted. And 3 days doing it, and a lot more time to recuperate.
Well, look at the number, 3.
Yeah,
That's a biblical number.
right. Now, one of the other things I wanted to discuss, okay, first of all, when this all happened with Germany and so forth, and the Nuremberg trials came out, that was when people got human rights, okay? And it's important that we maintain these rights. And here's a little snippet for you. Nuremberg Code, Article 6, Section 3. No government can mandate or force medical treatment without individual consent. Okay, this is law. This is law. Not all those fancy words they're using. This is law, okay? Now, another thing I wanted to speak to you about is this. Let's go back through history. I don't know about you, but I know that people, for instance, my mother would always go get the flu shot, right? So she would go about her business and be sure she wouldn't catch the flu, right? And this is the way it's been for as long as we've been getting flu shots and polio shots and this and that. So what is this hogwash that unvaccinated people who aren't sick are going to transmute something to somebody who's been inoculated against it? Is that a magic
common
trick?
sense, you know, I see people that wear this inoculation, if you want to call it that, okay, wear it as a badge of honor. Oh, I got my thing. I can go see the Yankees. I could give a rat's patoot if you want to go see the Yankees. They don't want me in there. They don't want my money. You're not going to ever get it, and you're not ever going to get me watching anything sports related, because they bowed to Satan. All of them bowed to Satan. Okay, that's what they do. It's about money. All right, and for enough money, you get anybody to do anything.
Well,
And
see,
that's what they did.
here's the thing that people don't understand. This is the age-old battle between the dark and the light. And, of course, the light has already won, because the light is the stronger one. The dark, or they're parasitic. They do not get the free flow energy of life force like the light does, like us.
They don't.
Okay? And so that's what it is. You have the dark trying to squish down the light by giving you things that are going to make you sick. All right? So if you, I know it's been shoved down your throats that it's good for you, but I can tell you it's not.
Listen, in 1973, when I was in the military, okay, they gave me the flu shot. Back in those days, they actually used the flu to make you build up antibodies to defeat it, or to at least tolerate it. That's the proper way to do this. If they never came up with these stupid vaccines and let everybody who was going to get it, those antibodies that they build up against it would be used to help everybody else who might get it. What's happening now is you're in office there wants to stop that, transferring those bloods that have been done with the antibodies to help other people get over the COVID. Why? Why would you do that?
Because he has the mark
Why?
of the beast in his third eye.
Because
See,
he doesn't work for the right team, guys. He don't. He don't represent this country. He represents China. Remember that.
okay, folks, I got to tell you something, all right? The people of God have the eye of God in their third eye. Okay? This is not political. The people of the beast have the beast in their third eye. And I can plainly see the difference. And I'm sure you can too.
When I look at him, he appears to have black eyes. Okay? He appears to have black eyes.
Well, that's a soulless being.
He's a drone, is what he is. They tell him what to say. He was heard on with the mic on. Well, I don't know. This is what they tell me. It's what they tell you. Who's they?
Shadow government.
Who's they? Who tells them that?
Shadow government.
Who is that? I'm telling you, this is despicable. Well, anyway, as I was saying, I had the flu for 7 days, and I had 104 fever for 4 days. But I got over it, and I never took that shot again, and I never had the flu again. All right? I got colds, I got upper respiratory things, but I didn't get that. All right? That's what happened with that.
Are you
What?
Are you telling me that they're trying to stop giving the antibodies in the blood to
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
No, I hadn't heard that. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I heard that just today.
Oh my God.
All right. So, getting back to what I was saying, what was I saying?
Ah,
Anyway, it was something.
sorry.
Well, it was something with the antibodies. Oh, then when I turned, how old was I? I think I turned 60. All right, and Tom, you should take the pneumonia, being that you've had chronic bronchitis. Okay. I'll tell you why I had chronic bronchitis after this. But anyway, I took that shot. In a 3-year period that's supposed to cover, I had pneumonia twice. So why did I need that when I haven't had pneumonia? All right, so there you go. That shows you that these things are not good. All right? None of these things cure anything. All right? The word is cure. All right? If you have cancer, cure. Find a cure. Not something that you get this whole diatribe on TV and it says, oh, can kill you if you're allergic to it. How would you know? You got to take it, don't you?
Well, I mean, you're radiated, you're poisoned, you're cut. Come on.
Really, this
Yeah,
is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And nobody says a word about it.
Because they don't know any better. And you know what? But then on the other hand, I think to myself, that means all these doctors are complicit. I mean,
No, they're not complicit. I'm going to tell you what the problem is with the medical profession. They're all taught the same thing. Okay? They're all taught, you got this, you take that. You got this, you do this. You got this, you do that. This kind of surgery for this kind of surgery for that. Use chemo, use this, use that. They're not thinking outside of the box. And when you get the doctors that think outside of the box and get an actual thing that happens that's positive, that guy disappears.
oh, yeah. And not only that, but there have been doctors that have cured cancer using baking soda, using holistic treatments, and they are taken to court and tried to get their medical licenses taken away because it's not what, you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to be in Big Pharma's back pocket. Well, anyway, the thing about the bronchitis, you know what caused that? Another thing they told me I needed I didn't need, a sleep apnea machine. All right? Back in those days when I had it, I cleaned that thing like you couldn't believe. But you can never clean it germ-free. And all you do at nighttime is recycle your breath. And whatever germs you have, they become super germs. I used to get bronchitis almost 6 times a year. And that went on for about 8 years. Until I finally said, enough of this. I stopped that thing. I haven't had bronchitis again.
Huh. Well, Steve had that, my husband who crossed over, and since then, and I would take that hose and I'd wash it in bleach water
did I.
to kill the germs. And
It still gave me bronchitis.
How about that? Well, are we done yet? Let's take a look and see. Is the portal ready to, how much more do we have to cross? Not too much more. Keep it up, folks. You're doing a great job. So, is there anything else you want to say about that? And we'll switch over to the...
You can switch it. You can switch. I'm good.
Okay, so so enough of that for now. I want to talk about what's going on with the shifts that are going on with the evolution and the ascension of mankind. Let's see, going back to before the Lions Gate, that would have been like August 4th or something, I think it started ramping up. And we really have not had a break since then. It's been just rolling.
It's been continual. And I always tell people when these different shift times of the year come up, the autumnal, autumn shift and everything else like that, these things start weeks before and they go many, many weeks after. You can still feel the effects of that. All right, so if you know, like, same thing when people say to you, it goes, oh my God, Mercury's in retrograde. Listen, really? If you empower that something is going to go wrong during that period for you and you're afraid, guess what? You draw it right to you. Don't be afraid of these things. All right? It's just a time of year. Maybe you don't want to make that deal on a new car at that time. Okay. But don't fear it.
No, fear is the worst thing.
Fear is inverted faith. That's what it is.
It is.
And all the things that go along with fear, you know, envy, jealousy, hatred, animosity, all these things that go along with fear. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
And when you do, anything that you used to fear falls away. It can't stick to you. It only sticks to you when you draw it by concentrated thought.
And by fear, right.
What a fear is concentrated thought.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Tommy? This is the problem, that they're perpetrating fear.
That's all they're doing.
I know. And so you have to understand something. When you're afraid of something, you draw it to you.
That's right.
So let me advise you to shut the TV off. And maybe, you know what we need to do sometime soon? I think maybe we ought to do a world fear cleanse, transmutation into faith.
Transmutation in the media, because they're the ones that are doing this.
You know, we need to do that for the people. Mm-hmm. Because we got to get rid of this fear, because you know it continues because of the fear. So you got to get rid of the fear. Okay?
Everybody thinks that because somebody puts MD or PhD or something after their name, that makes them better than you. Okay? They're not better than you. They're not better than you. You know what's best for you. You make the choices. Okay? You got a doctor you trust, then fine. Okay? But don't let somebody tell you they're going to mandate something which is not a law and try to make you capitulate to it. Because the minute you do, this is what they did in Germany, the minute you start to say, well, you know, I don't want to get in any trouble, or I don't want to be the one that stands out, they might beat me up. Okay? You know what happens? Then you have given your seal of approval.
You've given your consent.
And then you get exactly what you deserve.
You've given your consent when you do that.
Do not do that. Yeah. You are sovereign grace on this earth. Stand up for yourself, okay? Don't be the minority in the background, letting somebody else fight your battles for you. Get out there out front. You want to vaccinate our kids at 12 years old? Are you nuts? This thing is unproven.
Oh,
okay.
and the doctor who did the mRNA vaccine, he has come out and said that that if somebody gets sick, their antibodies are much more potent than a vaccine could ever be.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you need a booster? What do you need, to sit a little taller in your seat? What do you need a booster for? This is supposed to be the miracle. What miracle is it? And where are the real numbers on how many people taking that injection and died within 6 months? Where are the real numbers? Not that CDC, that stuff that keep on floating, okay? Because they're being sued in the process too for lying.
Oh, yeah, there's actually a COVID FBI investigation bureau being already in existence, and I know it's going to spread worldwide. I know it because I see it.
Listen, they're rioting in the streets all around the world. They don't want to close down again. Look at Australia. Australia became Germany.
I know. And they want to inject the mother that's pregnant to get the baby.
Of course.
Because the children are coming in as ascendant masters, and the dark wants to stop those light beings from coming in. Mm-hmm. Okay? So they want to control their minds. Because these things, from my understanding, alter your DNA and affect your genes and give you spike proteins and all kind of stuff.
When you go to work for a company, a big corporation, downtown, wherever it is, they don't have the right to mandate you to do anything. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because your terms of employment don't say that they have that right in paper that you sign. Okay? And as long as you don't have a written affidavit in your paperwork when you're looking to get this job, okay, they cannot mandate anything or force anything down your throat. No protocols, okay? They are not doctors, and they don't have the right to make you decide whether you want a job or whether you're going to stay home and collect unemployment. They don't have the right to call that. You guys better open up your eyes and open up your mouths. Get lawyers. Tie them up in so many lawsuits their head will spin.
There's lawsuits all around the country right now with the police and the firemen and the health people. People are standing up and fighting back at this point. And I think what Jesus told me was, he said it had to come to this so people could see what's really going on, so they would fight back, take back their power. That's what he said, okay? Because nothing else that they have done, the company of heaven, has woken the people up so that they can start to evolve and ascend. Because essentially, that's the ultimate. That's why we come in, for soul growth and to learn and to evolve. And if you're not doing that, you got to have something wake you up, like...
If you're just going through life 9 to 5, get up, shower, go to work, come home, bitch and complain about what you did at work all day long, all right? Watch the TV, and go to bed and repeat. If that's what you do in life, you're going to be repeating this life over and over again.
Yeah, you're not on your path if you're doing that.
You are not on a path.
Yeah.
And if you think going to church once a week on a weekend, on a Sunday, or going to a shul on a Saturday, or going any of these places, okay, is going to make you spiritual and holy,
nope.
We'll see you next time around.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour-a-day thing. It's a way of life, and that's as simple as it is. And, you know, I want to also tell you, you know, religion is just a larva stage of spiritual development. I mean, that just got the barbarians out of being barbaric, although I do still see a lot of barbarianism going on right now with some of this stuff going on. But that is the larva stage. We are meant to grow far beyond that. And it never stops.
I don't.
But also, you know what? I didn't finish what we were talking about the current shift, because when Jesus had come through, he also said that a lot is going to happen until 11:11, which is a portal opening. And so it's still continuing. And now on the 21st, we have the eclipse, which means now we're going into the harvest, okay? So things are really going to, I think
you'll have your harvest moon.
Yeah, and we're going to start rocking and rolling. The energy is increasing by powers. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I was getting the information that what we've been feeling and getting used to, assimilating, is energies from 6, 7, and 8D, which we've never had before. Of course, the light workers can go up much higher than that frequency.
Than that. Yeah, that there is just...
But that's for the 3Ders. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's going to be continuing. So if you've been feeling fatigued or lethargic or feeling a little sick, make sure you're just getting enough rest and don't push yourself, because we all have to assimilate these energies and let our bodies get used to it. Our bodies are designed for this. However, it's never been done before, okay?
It's never been necessary before. You know, these are not the days of Ozzie and Harriet, where things were better, when people were genuine, all right? Yeah, we had our problems. We had our discriminatory stuff that went on in the 60s and the 50s. Okay, we had a lot of that stuff, but we overcame it. Okay? We overcame it. And yes, here and there, in between, there's a couple of bad apples that caused a lot of problems. All right? But never to this point of hatred that is shoved down your throat daily to make you hate groups. They keep on showing you all these Mexican people, all these people from South America coming across the borders in hordes. Well, they want a better life too. But you don't know what's coming in with them, because nobody's checked.
First of all, they
you could have let every terrorist from every one of these groups in.
Yeah, how come they're not wearing masks?
Okay, they don't have to wear masks. They don't need identification. They could go right to the motor vehicle without the 6 points of motor vehicle ID that you need and get a license. Okay? They were popping out licenses in Pennsylvania like they were giving out Pop-Tarts. You had to see this. All right? That is not correct. That is wrong. We are a nation of laws, and they are breaking our laws. If our immigrant families came from Italy, came from England, came from Germany, came to this country and did that, forget about it, what they would have been. They would have been in jail. They would have been in jail. When are you people going to understand we are a nation of laws? We don't sidestep things because maybe it's not politically correct. You know what? I hope when the demise comes, it happens to you guys that close a blind eye to it. All right? Look at California. Look at California. There's nobody paying taxes in the state. They're broke. And they keep on looking for federal government handouts. And who's giving it to them? The guy, you know where he is. He's giving it to them. And what are they doing? They're just pissing the money away on these programs, on all these programs that are free.
But
There is no such thing as free. You pay for it sooner or later.
You know, every country has a certain amount of people they allow to immigrate in.
Yeah.
So what is the purpose? Let's ask the question, why?
Because they're going to allow them, with this particular administration thing, they're going to allow them to vote.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense then.
Okay? And they know that they're going to allow them to vote, and they're going to vote Democrat, whether they do or they don't. It's going to be a phony thing in the ballot box. Okay? They're trying to stop the return of Donald Trump.
Ha.
They're trying to stop it now. And this is the reason. They're coming across the
Is
border
that
like
what
flies.
it is?
That is the reason. Okay? They're going to flood the ballot boxes with people who don't deserve to vote in this country. Criminals don't deserve to vote in this country.
Or terrorists.
When you are arrested and you are a criminal, you're incarcerated, you lose your right to vote. That's how it's always been. And that's how it should be. You need a voter, you need a vaccination card, but you don't need a voter card. Where is the common sense in this? These are these imbeciles that you people keep on electing to be our mayor and our governor. Imbeciles. Each and every one of them. You're complicit in your city's own demise. What do you think all the big money ran out of this city like roaches out of a fire? Why do you think they did that? Because they see things going here bad in a hurry. You guys don't want to wake up. You don't want to wake up. We had this generation of something for nothing. All right? It's got to break the cycle. Work has got to be important to people. To know you went out and did something decent with your day. Instead of waiting and depending on the government check.
Yeah, they're building a very large welfare culture, and for many years we were trying. Yeah, the government was trying to get out of the welfare culture, and look what's happening now. They're increasing it by leaps and bounds.
Under our previous president, it was more jobs than ever. More jobs and more employment of certain communities. Of all time. Prosperity through the nose. All right? Gas. Almost $1.79.
Yeah, now it's over $3.
What happened here? He closed the pipeline. He closed it. He put how many, 5,000, 6,000 people out of work? All right, but that's okay. Media don't say nothing. Oh, he's doing so good. He's doing so good for who? Is your life better or worse? Ask yourself that, even if you're a liberal. Is your life better or worse?
Well, you know, sometimes, I mean, okay, we're a spiritual show, people, you know that. And our goal, though, is to wake you up to what's going on behind the scenes, because so many people seem to be clueless and blind to what's actually happening. And that's our goal here, that we're talking about these things for current events, to let you see, read between the lines. Remember the common sense. I mean, you know, we're not conspiracy theorists. What we are realists, and we see with the eyes of God.
You see this here? They spoke about conspiracy theorists and all the fact checkers.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The fact checkers were proved wrong, because everything that the conspiracy people were saying came to be true.
Oh, I know.
All right, so there you go.
Well, we should question a lot of things. I mean, that's
if you
that's
don't
the reason.
question what they try to mandate or shove down your throat, then you are complicit in the demise of society in the United States, and you are stepping all over the Constitution that built this country. It may not have been perfect, but it's better than any country in this world. Why do you think they all come here? What do you think they come here for? Because there's freedom here.
And we don't want to let that go.
And we don't want to let our freedoms go, but they're going to take it from us by bringing in these third worlders and their mentality, and they want to start to enact some of their religions, some of this, that, the other, as being Lord of the land.
Hey, you go to Russia, you speak
Wow.
Russia.
You talk this stuff right now in Russia, man, they won't find you. Or China, they shoot you down like a dog.
Yeah.
All right? And
true.
you're going to let them come into this country and take this country over without firing a shot because they got that Strunzo in the White House.
Well, they're coming in from within the inside.
Yeah.
And I believe they're in league with China.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
So, at any rate, did you want to say anything else further about that? Before
Government
I touch on
control.
this?
This is all about government control.
World control.
When you have one party that dominates, then you have guaranteed corruption. Okay? Because nobody will say boo. The only way you can go out and do something horrible in Congress, terrible, maybe even murder somebody. As long as you're on that one team,
You get a pass, right?
doesn't happen. You still get your pension. You still get everything.
Yeah.
Okay? What is wrong with you people?
They drank the Kool-Aid.
Drank the Kool-Aid.
You know, yeah.
I think
they
they're
drank
still
the Kool-Aid.
drinking it.
Well, you know, and especially one of the things that I was thinking about is that these people lack the common sense to realize if they've been inoculated against something, what does somebody who's unvaccinated need a mask for? They've been inoculated. I mean, that's
another
absurd.
thing.
Now, what my point being is that, I mean, these chemicals and these things that were in these drugs somehow alter their mind.
Formaldehyde.
Made them
Yeah.
dumber or something. You know what I mean? They can't, that they don't have common sense. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying.
Just try to get the ingredients. They're going to take
Yeah.
it. They're going to take it off of Facebook. They're going to take it off all these things. But try to get the ingredients.
Yeah,
you won't believe what's in there.
Here's the problem, and this is why it's against the law and experimental, because in all those vacs, there have been no disclosure. Every medication you take, you get a little pamphlet that tells you and breaks down the medication. Did you get that when you got the vaccine?
Absolutely not.
No.
And how about this? For all you people of intelligentsia that think that you can tell, like Hollywood and like the music industry and all these other weird outlets that they're using that are from intelligentsia, okay? You tell me where it says that you're the authority on this problem. You show me where. When they are doing it, if I got to sign an affidavit that I can't sue you for poisoning me, run away.
Well, you know,
Run away.
a guy in Canada won a court case.
He did.
And
That was
because
what's the name of that land over
they
there?
could not prove that that COVID existed, and the guy won. And I went to share that on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
A notice pops up that says if you share this, your post will be limited.
So
Get that.
so that's right. You know, you have no freedoms. Facebook is an independently owned company, okay, by Mark Zuckerberg. He may have stockholders and stuff like that, but believe me, they're pulling the strings. Their fact checkers, just like them.
And they work for them. Who pays them?
Okay, independent? There ain't no independent. There is no
I
independent.
know. I know. Well, you know what? Okay.
You're being sold a line of stuff, and they're doing it not through you, the adults. They're doing it through your children. They're indoctrinating your children in all. Whatever happened to American history? Learning about your government, your system of government, the three branches of government. Whatever happened to that? It's not taught no more. You're learning global studies, European law. European law does not pertain to the United States. We have a constitution, okay, and we have a Bill of Rights. And these guys are pooping all over that. And you're letting them. You're letting them because you don't let your voices be heard. You don't let your voices be heard. And I'm telling you, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, because they're all full of it. All right? There are a handful of good ones, a handful.
We need fresh blood. We need
You
fresh
need
blood.
term limitations. 2 terms, no matter what position you hold, out. We don't need a 50-year-old guy who's been in office 50 years as our president. What does he have in common with anything?
Oh, he don't know because he's lived a privileged life.
Yeah.
He don't know. How do they know?
Look at his son, complicit as anything, caught red-handed. Okay, and what happened to him? Nothing, because he's the president now. That all went bye-bye.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Okay? Where's the Supreme Court on that one? Where is it?
Well, they hire the judges.
What do you think is paying off everybody? Okay?
They put the judges in office, so they're
Your
in
little
their
Mandarin
pocket.
friends.
Yeah. So, but anyway, okay, we really did get a little steamed up today about this.
Because it's the hypocrisy is unbelievable.
Well,
and nobody calls them
it's
out.
fraud. It's being taught as though it's truth, and it's fraudulent.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, it's a whole ball of wax. Oh, well, this, years ago when I first started learning about all this stuff, I mean, I'm going back probably 15, 20 years. When I'm on the computer reading this, my third eye would actually weep. Now, remember I told you that the people of God have God's eye in their forehead and the people of the devil have the beast, right? Well, I'd be sitting there and tears would be splashing on the computer, and I'd go like this. And my eyes weren't wet. It was coming from God's eye. He was crying as I'm reading this stuff. And it's been building behind the scenes for a very, very long time and been in plan for a very, very long time. And so this is not new. It's just now crunch time. They're trying to bend your arm and make you say, Uncle. Are you going to say Uncle? No, we're not going to say Uncle. Okay?
Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm not giving my country away. Okay? I'm not doing that, and my brother veterans are not going to do that either. All right?
That's why they're guns, because all the veterans in this country have been trained in war. And they know how to defend this country. That's why they're trying to get the guns, because the United States has been the military arm of the world.
This is not Australia, and we're not going to allow it. We're not going to allow that.
So.
All right?
Well, let's go back and double check and see if we're done. The portal's closed yet? They look like they're closing to me. Do you see them, Tommy? I think they're closing.
I don't hear the swishing.
The wire, keep the paper, keep away from that. Good.
I think the portals have closed. I think
Did
we're
you see the
done.
number that just came up? 1111.
1111. That's God's numbers.
That's it.
Anyway, so the portals have closed. Let's see, how many people have crossed over? I'm hearing 13 million, Tommy. So you know what? I thought there were going to be about 20 million, but 13 million is what I'm hearing. You getting anything on that?
I don't hear the swishing anymore, so I know it's done.
Okay. Well, one other thing I wanted to touch on about this energy shift, because we really got off on a riff trying to teach you what's going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. First of all, with this energy shift, it has a lot to do with everybody becoming more in alignment and balance. So when I talk about the divine masculine rising, what it really means is the men who were just so masculine and patriarchal are now, their divine feminine is rising and they're coming more into balance. Okay? And that will make them much more loving and to be the true spiritual warriors that they're meant to be, and protectors. You know, and also this is a time, I don't know why, but I hear it everywhere, that the people are meeting their twin flames, they're meeting their soulmates, and this is a good thing because some people have been waiting. I mean, when I've been posting some of these things, people have said, I've waited 25 years, you know? So,
like we were talking before, Sis and I were talking about this. Your twin flame, everybody seems to think, well, those who are not too knowledgeable seem to think that twin flame is a loved, your yin to your yang, your loved one. And it is a yin to your yang, all right? However, that could be your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle. You know, it could be anybody. It doesn't have to mean a person that you are absolutely in love. Of course, if it is, then that's a love that's on a whole nother level than the love that we give each other.
oh yeah, that
right.
is like the blessing of all time.
Now,
You know,
soulmates,
blissful.
Soulmates, yes, you're going to meet people that you have so much in common with. Oh, wow, he's so good to me. He's blah, 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 blah. Because you're just soulmates. You've been in the same soul group, okay? And you recognize each other from past lives. You don't realize that, but that's why you have that feeling, that attraction.
Yeah.
I've had that myself. And those who know me know that, okay? You have certain attractions.
You may feel this love for somebody, right? And you're saying to yourself, gee, I just met this person. How can I feel this depth of feeling for this person, right?
Well, anytime you're around them, you're like a giddy teenager where your knees are shaking and you're like nervous and you're just so enamored with that person. Okay, it's because you've known them before.
And you've loved them before,
and you loved them
deeply.
before.
Yeah.
And that's why you have that love. The unfortunate part of it is sometimes the person who is the twin flame, not the twin flame, the soulmate, he's not spiritual enough or she's not, to recognize who you are.
Yeah.
That you're the better person for her. A lot of people today are looking for people who are monetarily secure. What good is that if there really isn't genuine love there? All right? You pass up some of the greatest things in your life. Maybe you're not meant to be Rockefeller's Kumari, but you're meant to be with Happy Joe, who happens to work for the city, all right? Because he's the guy who's going to love you, not look at other women or other men, whatever it is, okay? These are the people that we need to start to connect to people that we love, not people for financial gain, not people for status.
Oh, and there's so many people like that.
And there's so many. I'm telling you, I see this all the time.
I call them goober smoochers.
Goober
smoochers, gold diggers.
It's like the same ones. You see them constantly. They're all over the computer and stuff like that. And and I look at them and I just say, well, you got to have deep pockets for that. And it's the truth.
But you know what? I think that if
what
you
kind
marry
of society
for money,
would we come? I'm sure their mothers and fathers didn't teach them that.
If you marry for money, you've just made your own hell, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because now there's no real love, and that's really sad.
Yeah, like I said, I say it all the time too. If you make money your God, then you'll never have enough money, and nobody will be good enough because they won't have enough to give it to you.
That's a sad state of affair, though.
That is an actual state of affair.
I know. And you know what? I would much rather be with a soulmate or a twin flame. And I've never been like that. I always worked myself and never expected.
Listen, I've had plenty of it, and I had none of it. Okay?
Me too.
And I don't care. The same people you meet on the way up is the same people you meet on the way down, so you better watch the way you treat people.
That's true.
You better watch, because one day you may need them.
I've always heard that you never burn any bridges.
That's right.
You never burn any bridges. And, but I really do feel sorry now that you brought that up about the goober smoochers and gold diggers, because people who are like that, they'll never be happy. No. You just brought yourself into hell.
No,
But on the other hand, twin flames and soulmates can be it's called sacred union, sacred sex. And sometimes the thing about it is when you're in that type of relationship that you are a soulmate or a twin flame, your kundalinis will rise together and wrap together, and you get the red drops of bliss. And just that part alone is fantastic. Imagine that, honey.
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah. So, that's a thing to look forward to. I hope people can find their twin flames and their
there's
soulmates.
Nothing like a harvest romance. If you find somebody that you love and that person loves you back and treats you that way, there's no better time of year than right now, coming into the harvest, okay? The harvest is the reaping of the abundance. So why shouldn't you reap the abundance of a new relationship with somebody you're going to grow and love, and who knows, maybe one day get married and have a family and all the other best things that this life has to offer. Okay? We're coming into that time. And this time goes right into my favorite time of year, Thanksgiving and ho, 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 Merry Christmas. All right? So this is a time, if you meet that one, enjoy your time here. God bless you all. Thank you for watching us on the show tonight. And we'd like to thank everybody out there for helping us cross over all those souls. Good night, everyone. I still got a minute. I'm still saying good night. Good night, everyone.
Tommy.
We got a minute. It's amazing how that happens, isn't it, sis?
Well, you know, Tommy, that explains what you were talking about when we were talking about the harvest and the equinox and everything coming up. That explains why so many twin flames and soulmates are coming forth for the harvest.
That's it.
That makes perfect sense.
That's about it, right, Brian?
So,
Well, keep going, he said.
Yeah, keep going. So anyway, let's see. Next month coming up is October already.
October. We'll have a Halloween show.
Yeah, we'll have to have a Halloween show and talk about.
Sister's going to come dressed as herself.
No, I'm going to come as an Egyptian queen, I think.
I'll come as myself. I'll come as Padre Pio.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right. Music Maestro.
Bye, everybody. See you
Have a
next
good night.
month. Yeah.
Keep going.
We're getting timelines saying stretch the time. It's only a minute. Then it's another minute and another minute.
It's amazing how that keeps on happening.
The clocks must not be synchronized.
You must be holding back time.
Maybe.
Are we there yet? 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Well, anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. We don't know what's going to happen next month because what we've been trying to do is stay current with to keep you informed of what actually is transpiring. So
And
that
to try to wake you people up to some
Yeah.
common sense. Use your common sense, not your education. Your education won't serve you. All right? Good night, everyone. Music Maestro this
Are we
time.
done now this time?
There
Okay.
it goes. Okay.